We'll see what the new board is of today. V-Sweat versus Bushy. Go ahead and get your gambas in, chat. There is currently a prediction in the Twitch chat. And center square is going to be Skidoo 10. So this is definitely going to be most likely. There's a Concert down here as well. Most likely this is going to be a Commander Gaius rush, I feel like. Which makes a lot of sense. Anyways, because we have Remembrance Boss with Remembrance Weapon. So that's going to be a lot of Commander Gaius synergy here. Commander Gaius probably being the most picked boss when it comes to using the Remembrance Weapon. +0, that's going to be a little bit of a trap here, I feel like, on this specific board, because there is a lot going on. We have Mikola squares here for these rushable squares. Let's see here. Commander Gaius' Pants is also on here. So this is really, really promoting Commander Gaius as a first Remembrance boss. Member of Grace, 300,000. That's going to be something that Commander Gaius can do as well. I think he only gives you 230,000, but still a good enough amount of money to where you could possibly pull off, you know, some huge synergies with Commander Gaius. I think that's going to be a huge boss to aim for on this board. We have Larval Tears as well. That could be rushed really early on if you make it nighttime. But besides that, we also have Tree Sentinel Duo and Iris of Grace. So these are things, especially Tree Sentinel Duo, Commander Gaius again kind of pushing that, because the issue is here, not the issue, but more or less the synergy playing of grabbing Oh Mother, then going to Commander Gaius and giving you yourself access to the hinterlands where the Tree Sentinel Duo is. So there's a lot of Commander Gaius synergy on this board for sure. Like, that's going to be absolutely crucial to be making your way towards that direction. We have Jory on the board here. We've got Concert Radon on the board. Queeland and Belleroth, I think that's a little bit out of the way on this specific board. I don't think that's worth it. We have NPC dropped weapons and Ancient Dragon Man in the same column. That's kind of interesting. We also have Jolanne and Anna. Just saw that. So that's another hinterlands type of situation here. AKA pushing Commander Gaius as well. Players are getting prepped here right now. Looks like they're looking for talismans possibly to upgrade into. But this is very, very interesting. I don't know exactly how this is going to go, but I am definitely very intrigued as to what they're going to be picking next. Or what they're picking first, I should say, not next. Also, my light's a little yellow. I don't know why, but I look a little bit more yellow today. Hopefully that's not too crazy. Yeah. Let's see here. What else do we have? Demi-Human Swordsman. It's interesting. I feel like the Demi-Human Swordsman on the way to Mariga is actually weaker than Aunts. So I feel like that should be something that people aim towards as well. There aren't any hefty pots on the board here, so going for Aunts in the jail is not as worth it. No hefty pots, no clearing 2 jails. Lamenter boss is here, and also a torch. You get both of these in the Lamenter jail, so this might be a nice little pick. And here we go. Match has started between Bushy and V-Sweat, both going now. And looks like both rushing Larval Tears. We're starting with a race from the very beginning. This is going to be very interesting. This is going to come down to pathing, and that's pretty much it. Who's got the better pathing? Who's got the better knowledge on Larval Tears? Even though like they both have the same knowledge. If I'm being honest, they should both have the same knowledge. So let's see. By the way, for anyone watching, ads are starting in 3 minutes here. If you're trying to avoid ads, you can subscribe to the channel, use Twitch Turbo to avoid those ads. Sadly, we have to run ads every hour. That's something that Twitch requires. So just keep that in mind, please, and thank you. And Jesus, 25 bomb from Valley Man. Can we get some people claps in chat from Valley Man for the 25 bomb? Making sure that some people do not get ads throughout this season. That'd be that's very, very nice of you, man. Thank you so much, dude. Yeah, this is definitely just a Larval Tier rush right now. This is going to be very, very interesting. Pathing here is definitely king. And we saw this, I think, yesterday as well, as making sure that you don't aggro this Furnace Golem, so you don't have to dismount to not deal with the rock kick that the Furnace Golem can do, is a bit crucial on some of these rush squares. But the other interesting thing is that Bushy is way closer to this Grace now than V-Sweat. V-Sweat taking a huge... more of a curve route towards the square, really avoiding that Furnace Golem, but putting himself behind now on Larval Tiers, whereas Bushy making his way already to the second Larval Tier near the village. I forget what this village is called. Sadly, I don't know. Well, you know what? We could also watch this race, chat. We could watch this race on the map screen. They're both rushing larval tiers. Might as well run the map. Where's my map? Where'd my map go? Hello, map. Maybe not. Hello, map. There we go. There it is. Thank God. Okay. Here we go. Moving over to the map screen real quick. We're going to have V-Sweat grabbing one of these larval tiers. They're going to be over here. And Bushy already having a second larval tier. Going to be moving to Prospect Town, which there is a third larval tier right next to a Kindred Rot. And so they're both going to be kind of rushing towards that. Going to be grabbing the Highland Cross, I believe, as well. So that's going to be really interesting here. V-Sweat definitely behind by easily, I want to say 20 seconds. Bushy skipping the Highland Cross, not the Highland Cross, I'm so sorry. The Moor Cross here, I believe. V-Sweat kind of doubling up here, grabbing the Mikla Cross's text while also going for larval tiers. I think that's why he's also a little bit slowed down. But that might be worth it for him because in case he does lose larval tiers, he might actually get Mikla Crosses before Bushy and get that nice row 5 block while activating that diagonal in column 5. All right, and this should be the first mark here in just a moment. Bushy going to be grabbing that larval tier here. I marked it a little too soon. It's over here. That's fine. There it is. Larval tier is being marked by Bushy. V-Sweat losing that race, which, wow, words. Okay, my bean juice hasn't activated yet. I'm so sorry, chat. My bean juice is currently still making its way towards my brain. All right, I'm working on it. I got some stuff. It's slowly getting into my system. I wonder what V-Sweat's going to be going for here next. Because right now, Mikla Crosses, I think Sweat has more than Bushy. He is like double, triple checking. He already definitely checked that cross. He's going for the other cross now that he's skipped. And Bushy just straight away making his way towards Fort Reprimand here. Well, Castle ends into Fort Reprimand, but this is the most common path to Fort Reprimand. Grabbing some money here. Going to be grabbing also the Skidoo fragments on the way. And maybe grabbing the Grace here. I personally like to grab the Grace here just in case. Sometimes there's squares that could really use that. You know, if you're going for Fog Rift Catacombs, if you're going for Castle Ensis early on, there's some things you can maybe grab. There's sometimes, you know, kill balls at Castle Ensis. Moonrith Hill. But you can do the Moonrith Hill skip, actually, which is a very fun thing that I watched V-Sweat actually practice. Jumping from the shortcut of... when you do the jump to Berlana, you can actually jump onto a rooftop instead, and you're like right next to Moonrith Hill pretty much going into that fight. Swift Spear being picked up here by Bushy. I don't think that Swift Spear is going to be intended to be used. Might just be one of those things where you have a habit of picking up whatever's laying on the ground. Or maybe you just forgot. Maybe just like, hey, maybe that's money, you know, and then it's a Swift Spear, which is, I think, still pretty bad. I still think the Swift Spear is not any better than what it was on release. Pretty garbage. Nice skip here from Bushy now. Going to be getting that Tiolier skip. You know, it's a little, I'm not going to lie, it's a little frustrating that they constantly add words or names from different languages, and then you have to, like, try and fix your bad habit of not saying those words you have been saying before, like Egon and Igon. I was a big Igon enjoyer, chat. I was a huge Igon enjoyer. And then everyone's like, no, it's Egon. It's Egon. I'm like, yeah, but like it's not an E, it's an I. Partially my German upbringing, you know, of actually pronouncing the letters the way they're written and not some weird mumbo jumbo. Sweat definitely a good portion behind here, just arriving now at the Tiolier cross. Going to be grabbing that Skidoo fragment. Didn't visit the cross, though, so maybe he's kind of giving up on Mikla crosses here. Row 5, okay, never mind, he does grab it. Row 5 definitely looking a little rushable besides the Velvet St. Trina sword. Oh, and Sweat does miss the Tiolier skip here. This might be a little bad in the time, in the sense of time loss. Okay, he fixed it. He fixed it. Bushy going to be grabbing this Grace, making his way towards probably Dane. I don't know how many crosses Bushy has. Oh, Oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay. Well, that's fun. Oh, okay. Is someone messing with the... Oh, man. Oh, chat. Oh, chat. Anybody want my job? Anybody want to take my job right now? Alrighty. I'm not sure exactly what's going on. I'm not sure if too many people are tuning into the website right now, trying to watch it. Not as in like Twitch website, but the website that we're using. Sometimes the bitrate does freak out. Or maybe Bushy increases bitrate too much again. That could be a thing too. We had to have players lower their bitrate to make sure that it doesn't get too crazy with the required power needed from the website, or the server, I should say. Yeah, let me fix Bushy real quick. Holy freaking guacamole. What in the hell is going on here? Give me a hot second. We're going to fall behind otherwise, and we don't want that. We definitely don't want that. Okay. There we go. Should be up to date now. Should be good to go. Hey, chat. You know what? Nice shirt, chat. Nice shirt. Did you guys buy that anytime soon? Looks very nice. Looks very, very nice. It's weird because like Swed's like stream looks clear and beautiful, and then Bushy's is like weirdly like staggery. And I feel like it's been like this since yesterday, where like the left stream looks nice and clear, and then the right stream sometimes just has a hard time. I don't know why that is. But for some reason, OBS prefers left over right, I guess. Oh, now it looks better on... Okay, never mind. I think we're good. I think we're good. I think there's just like a little bit of a hiccup, you know? A little bit of a hiccup. Okay, so it looks like that across is still something that Bushy is looking forward to. Okay, I am definitely behind because that is way before Bushy did just mark crosses here. Let me fix that. Jesus, that is... We're way, way behind. Let me just get that fixed real quick. Hold on a second here. There we go. And also, let me get V-Sweat back online, too, because he didn't even recognize that. Twitch is acting up. So it's a Twitch thing. It's not a me thing. Hopefully, it's a Twitch thing. I've heard that Twitch lately has been having some serious issues. I'm not going to lie. I think it's not really a me thing over half the time. I know some people have been like, hey, Dom, like, your tech thing is not working as great as you thought it was. And it's like, half the time, I don't even think it's me. You know, half the time I think it's genuinely just Twitch having a little bit of a hard time. Which honestly makes me happy. But now we're in a bit of a bad position here because we sometimes miss out on really eventful moments. But V-Sweat here grabbing some money now. Currently already has row 5 kind of staring him in the face. Larval Tears and Mikla crosses for Bushy. Bushy grabbing some money here from Fort Reprimand as well. I wonder... Okay, I think they're both maybe aiming for Memory of Grace. I think that might be better than going for 3 unique NPC invaders. The reason why is because you could go for, like, literally Gaius at this point. Grab your weapon, upgrade it, go kill Gaius, work towards Skidoo level 10, and then use that money to block row 5. I think that would be a really, really good idea in this moment, especially for Swed. For Bushy, obviously... He can just keep building on whatever pressure he really wants. Right now, he currently is 2-0 in the lead, and they're both pretty much in sync when it comes to this match right now. Swed currently, I think, eyeballing the Black Knight here, maybe for some money. Oh, maybe because he has got +0 katana. He might be going for the +0 katana move here. Which, I guess that's fine. He does get some money. I think he get like 120,000. He's got to be careful here, though. Bubble Tea already popped. Gets the back stab here. Let me go ahead and check out over here. Let's go over to red player. Give me a second here. There we go. Let's go ahead and we can listen into Sweat as well, see what he's up to. And,
I'm gonna put up
okay,
some Scadu levels. I have a couple.
Okay, Sweat's like really freaking loud. What the hell? Sorry about that. I did not mean to blast you guys. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, chat. Okay, was not intended. My apologies. Okay, every player has a different volume, and trying to like mixer them live is sadly a bit horrendous. I should have checked before I unmuted him. I'm so sorry. Ancient Dragon Man going to be here for Bushy, though. I think he already upgraded his weapon as well. He might be looking at the diagonal. And honestly, I think that's a really good idea here from Bushy. Looking at Ancient Dragon Man, because you have this diagonal where you can also work towards Dragon Hearts, because you have that Magma Worm in the cave as well. You have the Dragon right afterwards. It gives you access to perfume bottles with the Lamentor Jail. And then, you know, Skidoo 10, you can do a lot of different things with Skidoo 10. Swed sadly dying to that Black Knight Edred one more time. That's rough. That's rough for sure. Hopefully it doesn't mess with him too much, doesn't get into his head. And going in now with the status stick. Okay, looks like it's okay. It's definitely looking like a Twitch issue, because right now everything's beautiful. Streams are looking great. Everyone's in sync. No hiccups. Not jinxing it. I'm gonna knock on my table that's made out of wood. Yeah, this diagonal's looking really, really good. I think Bushy already being upgraded here is going to be such a huge advantage, by the way, which is upgraded, because V-Sweat didn't upgrade at all, so he's still currently behind. And I don't know if he even bought the smithing stones for his great katana. He might have in the early game, like in prep time, but I'm not too sure either. Bushy now going to be fighting Ancient Dragon Man. Let's go ahead and bring him up on the screen here. Going for that Lion's Claw meta again. Ice Cold Lion's Claw on the great katana has been working really well for him, actually. The damage is really good. Like, I'm genuinely shocked as to how good the Savage Lion's Claw is here. I think this might be like a really, really good pickup here. And maybe a bit of a NPC meta coming into the future of Bingo Season 4 is Savage Lion's Claw on the Great Katana. Maybe even on the club at some point. I don't know. But like I don't think a lot of people have actually experimented with this Ash of War. And, oh, he's got to be really careful. Almost actually killed himself leaping into the... what is that Ash of War even called? I don't even know. The Dragon Katana Ash of War. Does get punished here pretty heavily from Ancient Dragon Man. Good old ADM, but does get the damage in now. Should just go for one more R1 or Savage Lance Call. There it is. Ancient Dragon Man going down for Bushy. Should be getting the mark right about now. Boom. There it is. Very nice from Bushy. GG's to him. Oh, I didn't even turn his sound on. Oh, that's a rough one. Whatever. All right, so this is definitely opening up to the diagonal that I was talking about with Bushy here. The perfume bottles, Skidoo 10, and then Dragon Hearts. It looks like that V-Sweat is working his way maybe towards Churchwater District, which is where Commander Gaius is also going to be. And that might be the one and only play at this point right now that could help him keep this match going. Because if Bushy just keeps getting to just dominate the board, but also work towards Skidoo 10 when he already has priority on perfume bottles and Dragon Hearts, this match is going to be over very, very quickly. So I think V-Sweat really recognizing that diagonal and respecting it, I think is a great idea. And we'll also, if anything, like we saw yesterday, Skidoo 10 can really help out with a lot of combat and a lot of fighting. So overall, just a great play here if you do go for Gaius. I'm not sure what Bushy is doing here in Bellerot. I think he's looking at going for Queeline right now, just to open up as many lines as possible. He already has row 5 activated. He's activating the diagonal here, and he's going to be activating column 5 on top of that, really giving it a bit of a guessing game to V-Sweat. Like, which one am I going to go for? I'm going to open up all these options for myself. What do you think I'm going to do? What am I going to go for? And then just go ahead and just like start picking off random squares in each line and just create more and more pressure. V-Sweat here now going into the Church Water District. Going to be... I don't think he should be draining the water. There's no reason to drain the water here. There aren't any masks on the table. There aren't any Skidoo Tree avatars. He should go straight towards the elevator. And grab the 50,000 runes here, though. The Unsung Hero runes. And hopefully not die. Because I don't think he's leveled his Skidoo at all. Maybe he did. Maybe he did a little bit. Oh, man. That is just incredibly unfortunate, dude. That is an incredibly unfortunate time sink there for V-Sweat. Not getting the jump on the last part there. Falling into the water next to the Tree Spirit. And here we have Queenline now on Bushy's screen. Going to be spawning in. He's grabbing the Shriek of Sorrow. A great pickup for DLC Ashes of War, by the way. I'm going to be going for that Savage Lion's Claw again. And the pancaking on the Savage Lion's Claw is genuinely so good. And the thing that makes Savage Lion's Claw so good as well is not just the pancaking, but it hits 3 times when you cast it twice. And that's great for stats buildup. And Sweat again! I don't know what's going on today. There it is. Queenline and Bellerot for Bushy now 4-0. Bushy probably wondering a little bit, like, am I sniping him currently the whole time, or what exactly is Sweat up to? This is definitely a bit of a tough start here for V-Sweat. Hopefully he can, you know, buckle down and really get some money going and some momentum going on this board. All right, and we're making our way towards, I think, Invaders here now for Bushy. Going to be going straight back to the Ancient Dragon Man cave and going backwards. This proves my point from yesterday, I think, that, not my point, but more or less my tell that you can actually still do Ancient Dragon Man invasion after killing Ancient Dragon Man. And I don't think he's got different spawn points. Normally for, like, some invaders, they have different spawn points from where you're coming from. Like Nereus in the base game. If you're in Limgrave, the little river, depending on where you're coming from, he'll be on opposite ends. But Ancient Dragon Man spawning exactly where he always spawns. That's his first invader here for Bushy. Going to be adding that. That's already 2 invaders, Queenline and Ancient Dragon Man. Going to be going straight towards the church here and maybe doing... Okay, he's not. I thought he was going to be doing more, but he decided to pivot out. Going to be fighting Dane instead. Okay, I guess he's going for NPC dropped weapons right now. Going to be going for the hand-to-hand. And he is lowering the water. Why would V-Sweat lower the water here? There's no reason to lower the water. There's honestly nothing. Maybe the Iris of Grace. I guess that is one pickup. But beyond that, there really is no reason to be grabbing the lowering of the water here. Bushy going to be dealing with Dane. Sweat has got to be pretty careful here. This Fire Knight might actually kill him here if he's not careful enough. There's going to be maybe another fire attack. He's got to be very, very careful. Okay. No fire attack here. Bushy going to be getting his second dropped NPC weapon here from Dane. Gets the Dane kill. There aren't any NPC bosses on the board, but still a dropped weapon is nice. It's going to be activating that column 1 now. Just constantly adding different layers of pressure everywhere. Here we go. We're taking the elevator up to Gaius now. If Sweat can get Gaius, just Gaius alone will genuinely give him so much momentum to where he could possibly get back into the game here. If he gets Gaius, he can block literally column 5 for Gaius's pants. He can block the diagonal. He can block row 5. He can block almost all of the threats that Bushy has been creating just with Gaius. He has Tree Sentinel Duo for row 1. He will have access to Jolanna and Anna. That's a very, very late game square, but still, it gives you access. Like, he just needs to, you know, or he can go for a Remembrance weapon with Remembrance Boss square as well. Either way, going for Gaius right now is top priority for Sweat to get back into the game. Getting possibly 4 squares off of Gaius would literally tie him right now. And here we have it. One Kindred Rot. And Bushy thinking that more will invade, but more will not invade unless you kill Queeline in the church. And he's a little confused here. He's like, wait, hold on. I thought that more spawns. More does not spawn unless you kill 2 Kindred Rots, or you kill Queeline in the church and then kill the Kindred. This is a little bit of a misplay from Bushy now, thinking that that more would just spawn. Here we are back with Edred for V-Sweat. Going to be trying to fight him again. Gets his bubble popped one more time. Gets the backstab here, though. Going for some rot grease on that club. Is he going for +0 weapon here? Or what's the plan? I think the plan is +0. Rot has been applied. Still has a +0 katana. This is really not good for V-Sweat, if I'm being honest here. Like, I understand that he's trying to get the +0 weapon square, but as mentioned before, this is honestly a trap. This is genuinely a trap going for that +0 right now. If you're already behind by 4 squares, trying to go for a square where you are not as strong as your opponent is just not a smart move. You already are losing momentum on the board. Losing momentum on character stats is the last thing that you want to do here. Domo, you're doing great. You looked at us 2 minutes ago. Okay. Thanks for the affirmations, chat. I appreciate it. I do appreciate it. All right, V-Sweat looking a little bit better here this time around versus Edred. God, what a combo. Why do they have to give every single boss and every single enemy in the DLC so much of a combo, man? It is insane that everyone just has a 10-hit piece combo that you just have to deal with somehow. I remember back in my day when you had to deal or you had to roll 1 or 2 crazy attacks, and that was it. Not doing the crouch R1 strat here, though, which is kind of interesting. It's a very effective strat versus Black Knight Edred. All you got to do is really just crouch R1 with the Great Katana, R1. Crouch R1, R1. Crouch R1, R1. And Edred, for 9 times out of 10, will just keep staggering. Kind of like how he did it right there. You can do that into the open, too. You don't have to be in a corner with Edred. But we're losing a lot of time here for Swed doing this fight right now. Doing this +0 fight. I do wonder what the thought process might be here then from Bushy once the square is marked. Is like, okay, has he been working on that the whole time? Or has that just been a thing that he just grabbed right now? There it is. There's that square mark from V-Swed. His first square on the board. 4-1 now for Bushy currently in the lead. Bushy going for that second Kindred Rot. Going to be grabbing that kill into more invading. That way he can have a third NPC invader. And, yeah. Going to see what happens now. Swed making his way towards grabbing some Skidoo here. I think this is... I really, really hope Swed is really looking at Skidoo 10 and then also looking at Gaius. And it's just like, okay, like that should just be my next move right now. More here currently now on the screen for Bushy. Going for that R1 crouch spam, which works really well versus Moore. That shield does so much damage. And Swed rushing for, I believe, the Skidoo 2 as well. Oh, no, it seems maybe a little lost here instead. Okay, I don't. Yeah, I'm not sure. Okay, so Swed might be just a little trying to figure out exactly what to do. The shield does not count anymore, Bushy. The shield does not count. That is not a square you can mark. Wait, hold on. Let me check the rules real quick on the website before uh-oh. Were the rules updated? I hope they are. Pretty sure they should be. Yeah. There is no more shield on the website anymore. And neither on the spreadsheet. That is something that is not going to be a square for Bushy. I'll also check the rule spreadsheet real quick to make sure. Yep. So that is something that the refs will have to deal with, letting him know, hey, that is actually incorrect. There is no such thing as more shield as an NPC weapon. That was reversed. The reason that more shield was an NPC weapon for a hot minute until the DLC acquired DLC shields was added to the board here. As you can see, this was added last week, and so then we swapped out more shield just for this square, and it does not count as an NPC weapon anymore at that point because otherwise more would just be way too powerful. Let me just let the refs know. All right. Morgan, I think he's making his way towards Lamenter Jail now, though. Okay, and Swed going for Queeline here in this church, maybe grabbing some more Skidoo. I think his plan is still level 10. I think his plan is still level 10 here. So now V-Sweat should be notified as well that that square is going to be available to him at some point whenever he does get 3 NPC weapons. But honestly, I'm not going to lie. I think that is going to be a drop in the bucket. And for Bushy here, because he has so much momentum here, I don't think that's going to make much of a difference at this point in time. He's currently making his way towards St. Trina, I believe, grabbing some graces. And honestly, this might be a row 5 bingo here. If he gets the Velvet St. Trina sword and also Memory of Graces with 300k, he currently has 216,000. This might be a row 5 bingo in the next 10 minutes. Yep. Okay. I think V-Sweat is genuinely just like eyeballing to finishing this match in the next 10 minutes here by going for that Velvet St. Trina sword into 300k. It's going to be a little bit of travel time, but honestly, at this point, I don't think it really matters. V-Sweat currently still focused on getting the, I think, wait, didn't he grab the Skidoo, or is he just grabbing his money now that he lost in the church? Either way, going back into the Church of the Crusade here. Yeah, I think he's just trying to grab his money and get out. He's going to be doing the fight again. Okay. Well, hopefully this time... Oh, God. He's putting himself a little bit in the corner here. Luckily, that pillar does block the R2, the jumping R2 from Queeline. Bushy going to be dropping down here. Alrighty. Okay, just prepping for it and then going back to Morth Ruins right now. Maybe grabbing Hippo here for some money. And then going for a Memory of Grace. Yep. I think he's eyeballing Hippo here. Queeline going to be killed here for V-Sweat. And then going to be going for the Kindred Rot right afterwards. Going to be killing more for a DLC shield. That poor Kindred having a hard time at this point. Nice fight here on Bushy right now, going for that hippo. Let's go ahead and tune in real quick as well. This time it's not so loud, chat, I promise.
Man, the riposte getting the riposte on this is so annoying.
I think the Memory of Grace here into Velvet St. Trina's sword is probably the best play for Bushy. We're going to go into phase 2 here for the hippo. Does get the stagger. Okay. Going to go for that riposte. Maybe gets a bleed proc. Does not get the bleed proc. Still really decent damage for not having a bleed proc. There it is. A nice... Okay, I think that was the bleed proc, though.
I didn't think I was going to be in range there. It's all good.
Another running R1. Fantastic. Has got to be really careful here, though. He is a little low. Gets a nice stagger again, though. Fantastic here. Very nice fight from Bushy. Doesn't get the riposte. Doesn't get the vacuum riposte. All right, and there it is. One more stagger. Golden Hippo down. This is going to be a Memory of Grace now from Bushy. Going to be marking row 4 or row 5 at some point. There it is. There's that Memory of Grace for 300,000. And now it's up to V-Sweat being like, okay, do I go for that St. Trina block now? It's a little late. Bushy already making his way over to St. Trina. This might be a minute 36 bingo for Bushy right now. Going to be grabbing his second W of this weekend. Alrighty. Here's going to be a Grace pickup from Bushy. He is, yeah, okay, this might be even quicker than 36 minutes. We're definitely looking at a very quick bingo here. We might have to go into a little bit of a longer break than usual for the next match. It's going to be CBD versus... Who's next? I'm sorry. Who's next? Versus Grand Pooh Bear, right? Right. Okay, I don't know if Grand Pooh Bear is ready just yet. I'm assuming CBD might be ready here soon, but we'll see what's going on with that. Here's the drop down. Here's going to be the St. Trina pickup. And this is going to be GG's. Oh, never mind. Quits out. There it is. GG's to Bushy. Going to be grabbing his second dub of the week. 7-1 to Bushy, grabbing a bingo line on row 5. 36:04. I was right. 36 minutes. Let's go. All righty. And with that being said, chat, we're going to go into post-game commentary here. As mentioned before, the NPC dropped weapons did not matter for Bushy at all. He had so many lines active. And there it is. There it is. Let's go ahead and see if the players are ready to do a quick little interview. All right, look like both players are ready. Let's go ahead and move into the post-game screen here. All right, welcome in, Bushy. GG's, man. GG's, dude.
Thank you.
It's just me and you today, sadly, but that's okay.
Oh, really? No co-commentator. Zoodle's internet not doing too good.
Yeah, apparently his internet crashed, so it's me handling the boats right now. Okay, so looking at this match, though, there was a lot of Gaia synergy that I was kind of expecting to be pulled off here, but definitely a lot of pressures that came out from that corner piece with Larval Tears and Mikla Crosses. Was that something you were aiming for in the beginning? Was row 5 or possibly diagonal threat to then maybe move into Gaius, or was Gaius even a thought on this board?
Well, I fully expect. I was just playing early game. I wasn't looking much further beyond the early game. I tend to like to do that, like as the moment calls. Like look at mid game when it's mid game. Look at end game when it's end game.
Sure.
I don't know if that's the right way to do it, but that's just the way that I do it. So I was thinking early game the whole time, and I was not thinking one player was going to get both Larval Tears and Mikla Crosses, and I definitely was not thinking one player was going to get both of those squares as well as the NPC invaders.
Yeah.
Like I figured I was going to go for Larval Tears, and then I would be behind on Mikla Crosses, and if somehow I got both of those, then that meant Swed was setting up for the NPC synergy that's in the early game here. But I just ended up winning all of them, and then it was like, okay, he's not able to go to Putrescent because that's just a dumb move, and I have no idea how he would have these runes, so I'm just gonna bingo.
Yeah, and it seemed to definitely work out for sure. Prepping everything and going for that hippo for the 300k was definitely, I think, the best play at that point for sure. I think if Swed did push for that Commander Gaius mid-game synergy, he might have been able to block off most of those bingos, if not all of them, with level 10 Skidoo, Commander Pants, and Memory of Gracing, trying to like get rid of all of the threats possible on the board. But sadly, it did not come to that. Let me bring in Swed though. Swed, welcome on in, man. GG's, dude.
Yo, GG's, everyone.
Yeah, GG, Swed.
GG's.
So Swed, when it came to the early game, you're both actually going for Larval Tears at the same exact time, and then going for Mikla Crosses as well. What was your overall thought process for the early game, moving into losing those squares and maybe moving into other squares afterwards?
Yeah, it was frustrating getting sniped both times, and then I died trying to do +0 kill, and then I died again without picking my souls up, so then I had no money. So then I had to just go all the way to the castle to pick some money up. And I mean, about that time, it was pretty much over. I knew it was over the second that happened, pretty much. I mean, Bushy's too good to make that big of a mistake to come back on.
I gotcha. I mean, don't be too hard on yourself. Sometimes people just have,
oh, no, I'm not at all. I'm
Okay.
not at all hard on myself.
But I mean, there were definitely moments. I think if the Commander Gaius was pushed, I'm not sure if you saw the Commander Gaius synergies that were on the board, because there's quite a few actually. The Commander Gaius's Pants, Skidoo 10, Remembrance Boss with Remembrance Weapon, Memory of Gracing, and then also Tree Sentinel Duo and Jolanne and Anna. There was like 6 squares that kind of had to deal with Hinterland / Commander Gaius. Pushing maybe into that would have prolonged the match at the very least, if not also kind of like turned into your favor at some point with like a lot of pressure points. But I know sometimes it's going to be tough, especially if you lose a lot of money, to try and get back into, especially in the DLC format, getting back into the groove of things. If it did go into mid to late game for both of you guys, what would the plan be if there were no bingo lines left over?
Just bang out as many squares as I could. That would have been the plan, I would say.
Okay.
I mean, when it's 7-1, I mean, that's all you can do.
Well, no, I know, but I meant like, let's say if in this instance, like we are moving into late game, and it wouldn't be necessarily a 7-1 scenario, but more or less like a bit of more of a tied square scenario. Did you have a late game plan? Were there any squares you were eyeballing, I guess, if it came to majority?
I don't think so.
Okay.
No, not after the 2 snipes and losing my souls, it was pretty much a fold for me, I think, at that point.
I liked the look of the Iris of Grace play. It had nice synergy with the NPCs from earlier. Because of Quelline. I had a lot of graces for perfumer bottles because I had Ancient Dragon Man dead. That And like Torch and Lamenter is obviously synergy for the same exact reason. Dragon Hearts for the same exact reason. I had Graces for shields. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of like collectathon sort of synergy that I had already developed. But yeah, like you pointed out, I was pretty much entirely ignoring the Gaius option, the Tree Sentinel duo, Yolan and Anna, even to a certain extent, right?
Yeah, I mean, the Iris of Grace does work with Yolanda and Anna in that regard. And that is definitely a way more of a long-distance play, that synergy play. But still, yeah, there's definitely quite a few options that are on the board here. I was excited to see Concert Radon. Sadly, we didn't get to that on this match, but hopefully we get to see that with you guys soon, fighting some Concert Radon action. I feel like everyone's kind of excited to see that at some point. But then again, GG's to both of you guys. Thanks for playing today. Bushy, we'll see you in the match after the next one, which is CBD and Pooh Bear. How are you going to mentally prep versus facing blanks?
It's the same thing, man.
Okay.
Do my best to play my game and not get too nervous, right?
Yeah, sure. I just don't know if you sometimes players have like a bit of a player profile. Like, okay, if I'm facing this person, I do these type of things. If I'm facing this person, I do those types of things. Kind of like they kind of add some versatility to their play style.
I think the only person I got that for is Tom, and that's just because Tom is so fucking fast.
Yeah, very consistent too. All right, sounds good. Well, thanks so much for dropping by real quick, guys. GG's again, and I'll see you guys soon. All right.
All right. Thanks, Tomo.
All right.
Yep. GG's.
Have a good one. GG's.